And Comrades winner Gerda Steyn has set a new South African marathon record. Steyn finished 9th at the Xiamen Marathon and Tuscany Camp Global Elite race in Siena yesterday. Her finishing time of 2 hours, 25 minutes and 28 seconds sliced over a minute from Colleende Reucks' 1996 time. She joins me now on Zoom from Italy. A very good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Violen, and good morning to all the viewers today from a cold Siena.
Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It has been an incredible past 24 hours, I must admit. I'm very, very happy with the results yesterday. So, yes, all in all, an amazing experience here in Italy.
It was cold. It's cold today. It was cold yesterday. The weather was wet and miserable. How did you remain focused on your goal to actually break the South African record?
I think that yesterday's weather, yes, that might have played an impact slightly, but I was quite determined for this race. So much has gone into the preparation for this race. The lead up to it, there's been some uncertainties. Of course, we know the current situation. 2 weeks ago, I was still actually meant to run a different marathon on the same day, but due to difficulties traveling, I had to change last minute to the marathon in Italy. So you can imagine that some factors certainly played an impact, but I was just so determined to get to the start line because I knew that the marathon record for South Africa was in my abilities. And after missing it last year in October with a mere 15 seconds, I was just really determined to get it. And I wanted to do this for South Africa and for everyone supporting me. And I didn't want to let anything like weather or any restrictions stand in my way to do it. So I really carried that with me yesterday. And yes, the weather wasn't great, but that is not something that I can control. And in the end of the day, you don't remember the weather. You just remember the experience. And of course, you can celebrate the results.
What was your plan and strategy going into the race?
My plan, of course, was to run first and foremost my personal best time. But in the same sentence, that would automatically mean a South African record. Like I mentioned before, I only missed it with 15 seconds in my previous race in London last year. So, of course, that was my first goal. And I achieved the goal. So I can tell you that I'm really, really happy. And I think there was a lot of happiness here in Italy yesterday with my teammate from the Nedbank Running Club, Irvette van Zyl, also achieving her goal of her personal best time, lifetime best, under the Olympic qualifying time. So it's been also the first time in history that two South African women run under 2 hours and 29 minutes in the same race. So we are very, very pleased today to make some history.
The fastest time ever run by a woman from the country is Ilana Meyer's 1994 Boston time, but it was on an aided course, so therefore it doesn't qualify to be a record. You were just 13 seconds off of that mark. So is that the next time that you're going for?
Yes, of course, but again, I really don't. I can't really compare that time to a time on a different marathon, as you mentioned. That was Boston Marathon. So I think one day when I run the Boston Marathon, certainly that will be my aim to run in the footsteps of Ilana and see if I can level or lower that time in the race that she did. That it would be an amazing experience. So that is something for the future that I will look at. But for now, I've achieved my goal, so very, very happy about that.
How do you feel with the Olympic Games coming up? Also, that the women's team looks like it's going to be quite small. Yourself, your teammate Irvette van Zyl that you've mentioned, and also the other female qualifier currently for the Olympic Games being Dom Scott.
Yes, of course, it's a very limited field for the women, unfortunately. But I must admit that they have... the standards for this year's Olympic Games have been raised by an immense amount. The qualifying standard now for, if I just look at the marathon, is 15 minutes quicker than in previous years. So I do think that the standards have been raised, but I do also hope that yesterday's marathon will give a lot of women in South Africa courage and hope that it is possible, no matter what they set the standards at, that you just have to set your aims higher and eventually achieve that. It is hopefully that we can inspire also other women now to see that they can see that it is still possible and you can still reach for the stars. And if you land on the moon and still make it to the Olympic Games, you can still have that opportunity. So yes, I'm just hoping that with my feet and with our feet yesterday, we showed that it still is possible.
Gerda, thank you so much. Congratulations on an amazing run. You're in the form of your life, and we can't wait to see what is going to happen at the Olympic Games in Tokyo.
Thank you, Valen. It is a team sport. It's my 2 feet that stands on the start line, but it is definitely an immense effort from a great team behind me. So I can just thank everyone who's part of this, especially people who support me and cheering me on. It means the world to me.
Lovely stuff. And just a note, some people are saying that it's now time to change your Twitter bio because you need to update. You need to update a time on there. All right, so let's conclude our sport. Let's conclude our sport with the poll question that we asked.